Okay, it looks like we're live here on the SteamStar Network. Thank you so much, Shadows Pub, for your help. That was my mistake. So, welcome everyone to Talk of the Line, episode number 2. So, my name is Ethan Smith. I'm here with my co host, Awaken to Life, coming to you live from the Steam Engine Discord server. We are a Steemit community dedicated to promoting engagement among members and appreciating undervalued content. So, to get started today, we are going to ask for the people who would like to participate and share their posts, and Awaken to Life and I will take you through those and we'll get some comments from the crowd. So, it looks like we've got a good crowd here today. So, let me find the script and we'll get started.
Sounds good to me. Hi, it's Blue. How are you? This is your first time here? Can you hear me, as Blue? I guess not.
That's okay.
Yes,
He said he can
he
hear.
said he hears you.
Oh, excellent. So, Shadows, I don't know if you did it or if Sir Cork did it because he messaged me back and said that he got it to turn off too. So, we'll have to check afterwards to see if it's a bug or if it's just me doing it wrong.
As long as it's working.
All right, there we go. I've already got some people who want to present. Awaken to Life, do you want to keep up with the order? And
Yeah.
feel free to introduce our guests this week. And so the way this works is we ask all the participants of our chat if they would like to share a little bit about what they've been doing on Steemit with their latest blog. And so who's up first?
First one is up is our most enthusiastic person ever, Dream Steam and a pirate.
Well, Captain Dream Steam, the floor
Yay!
is yours. What have you been up to lately?
Well, I've been up to so much, but the most recent is a pretty cool thing that happened. I got partnered up with Lavinia Therapist in Buddy Up. We get kind of partnered up to get to know each other, and she is a therapist that works with autistic children. And the next day, she posted about how it's World Autism Awareness Month, actually, but yesterday was the day. And she posted, and then I got to post as well. And it was just so neat because I was on a walk the day before and I took a picture of this blue butterfly, which is kind of one of the symbols of Autism Awareness Day. And so this, even though a lot of posts go into a lot of research and information, I tend to gravitate towards posts that show somebody's heart. I want to not just feel like I've read an encyclopedia about the subject, though that is valuable and very important. I like to kind of snuggle up to posts that show me something about the person. So this is my personal little piece of the journey with autism. Our son, who is now 17, was diagnosed very, very early. And just all of the little snippets of his life that I kind of memorialized. And it's really kind of cool because I think I've gotten so many reactions from this, some in the comments and some just in DM. And I think oftentimes people have this response, which is, I'm so sorry that he's, autistic. And it's really not something that I feel sorry about at all. I feel so incredibly blessed that my eyes have been opened and my world has been shifted because of this child of mine. And I really kind of view it more as if you were in a room full of people that were all speaking English and then somebody came in speaking Spanish, nobody would say, "Oh, you poor thing, you speak Spanish." They would try to, communicate with you in other ways. And that's kind of how I view autism. They just speak it a little bit differently. But if you take the time to just get to know them and to see what unlocks their world, you will be so incredibly blessed by their insight and their perspective and just the genuine love that they have. So that's that. I hope you enjoy it. And if anybody has questions, they can DM me or they can talk to me, and I would love to just give my insight. The end.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's definitely a topic that I think until you have interacted with someone or been around people who have autism in their family, it can be an interesting thing that not a lot of us know a lot about. I know that. So my wife is an educator, and she has had several children with autism this year, and it's been interesting and actually a delight to kind of get to know their personalities secondhand through her, because they have quickly become some of her favorite students, hearing the different stories about the things that they come up with to do or the way their brains work differently. And it's just really been incredible. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me share.
Was this like a poem in the second part that you wrote like a sentence and then a nice little picture of a blue butterfly in between the lines? I liked it. It's so personal.
Yeah, it wasn't a poem. It was just kind of me sitting down, remembering just all these milestones that we had in our lives and how impactful they are. And I remember when he was a baby, he didn't cry. He didn't really show emotion very much. And I remember just people saying, "Oh my gosh, you're so lucky that your baby doesn't cry." And I know that they didn't mean it to be offensive. I know that their heart was just kind of trying to connect with me as another mother. But I was devastated that my child could not express sadness or joy or fear. Everything was just overwhelming to him, and it was not something that I was thankful for. And so the times that he did get to learn how to laugh and how to say, "I'm excited. This feeling that I'm feeling is excitement," or when he did cry, it was kind of this beautiful, like, "Oh my gosh, you've crossed another barrier." So yeah, it's really neat. And I'm not ever offended by when people say things, because I don't really think they mean it. Sometimes they're just ignorant, and they don't know better. And so I think if we just have grace with one another, and we just kind of have the same generous spirit that we do with our children who are autistic or have disabilities, and I think when we share that to other people, we can grow together. So yeah.
Like I said, the most enthusiastic person ever. Just love it. What was the first joke that didn't need to be explained? I'm reading some of the stuff that you wrote down.
Well, I will tell you, this one is what I'm more proud of. It's the one where he actually created his own joke. And, he's very literal. And so oftentimes those jokes, we get them because we understand the social construct behind them, but they're just like, wait a minute, I don't understand why that would be funny. So the first joke that he ever told, that he created, was, okay, let me say it right. What do you call a person who protects the vegetables? And I'll let you
Vegetarian.
guys try to guess. Nope. A gardener. Get it? Ah, ha, ha. So he kind of got the whole concept of like a double meaning of, guard
That's
in gardener,
fantastic.
somebody who guards somebody. And yeah, so it was really pretty special. That was the one that's kind of, I think that showed a little bit more of like his growth. Not that he could just get a joke, but that he could tell a joke and create one. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing experience. I bet it is. I don't have a kid yet or nothing like this, but that's amazing.
Does anybody else have any thoughts they'd like to share on this? The floor is definitely open.
I really relate to what Dream's team's saying as well, and I want to also just share. I've got a cousin who's autistic. She was diagnosed when she was 4, and I lived with the family for a while, and it's not an easy thing, and it's such a beautiful thing to watch autistic children at the same time in the way that they use their imagination, because they're so creative and expressive, but not in the way that that other children can be. I used to watch my cousin line up dolls, and she would tell them off. She would tell them off, but then the next minute she was like rewarding them for something, and her imagination was amazing. And the older she got, I think it's another thing to say that autistic children, even young adults, have really good senses of humor. I'm sure you'll agree, Dream Steam. I just want to share a quick story because I don't want to steal a limelight, but I remember one time we had to go to the doctors with my cousin and her daughter who was autistic, and her daughter was being really dramatic, and she was really loud and going, "Mom, I don't want to die." And we just wanted the ground to kind of swallow us up. But they can be so beautiful and expressive at the same time. And I think that, to encourage autism awareness is a great thing, because they are just amazing superstars.
How old is your son now, Dreams Team?
He is 17. When he was younger, he was actually 8 months old when I was studying to be a psychiatrist, but I'm not one now. So, so I was kind of maybe a little bit more in tune. Plus, I really I watch people. I listen to them and I watch everything. So I was watching him, and he would feel things differently. He would respond differently. He wouldn't, the eye contact was big, and a gentle touch would send him like shivering, while a rougher touch of like a big tight squeeze would make him relax. So yeah, it's been a journey. That from 8 months to almost 18 now. And there still are those days where I just have the fear will almost cripple me, because I want to know, what does this look like, 5 years from now? What does it look like when he has a family? What does it look like, if we pass away, who's going to take care of him? And it's just, those things will cripple you. You want to be prepared, but you don't want to let the anxiety and the worry of the future, just kind of choke you. You have to just take it day by day and just trust that you guys are working together, and you have love and you have understanding. And so when you're starting from there, it's just, you're okay. You just breathe. The importance of breathing.
Yeah, just like I was actually going to jump in on some of the points, but then you answered my questions. I was about to say the same. Don't worry about too much about the future. You can't control too much of it. Only thing you control is today, and the moment you have right now with your son. That's all you can control. So less worry, more smiling and happiness. But you're already doing that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you all so much for your thoughts. I think we'll move on down the queue now. Awaken to Life. Who's up next?
Sorry, Awaken. Just to tell you, I must go. I will be back in 20 minutes. I will not listen.
Great. We will
okay.
be returning.
See ya.
All right. Who's up next?
1, 2.
Our next speaker is Crazy BG Adventure, the one I hope good crazy, not the one with the axe we talked about before.
All right, give me just a moment, because I think S Blue is trying to check his mic here. I heard something.
Yeah, I'm very sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. We got you. No problem.
Oh,
We got you, my friend.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay, so back to Crazy Beach Adventure. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, Crazy, take it away.
Okay. So the post, if it decides to load up, it might not. Discord might be having a bit of a flap. Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to load the picture. Anyway, never mind. So the post I want to promote is entitled "Quick Reality Check: Can You Make a Steemit Salary?" And I posted this up about 3 or 4 days ago. It was towards the end of March, and I was wrapping everything up and kind of analyzing my activity for March as opposed to my activity from February. And what I did with the post as well was I wanted to talk about a couple of things in the post. One, that because whilst I've been on Steemit, I'm not going to lie, the money is a factor for me. But at the same time, it's not the biggest factor why I'm doing Steemit, because one of the reasons why I wanted to do Steemit is because I knew very, very little about crypto and how crypto worked. So it was a really good opportunity for me to get on the ladder, learn how it works and how it progresses. So I'm kind of learning as I go along. And what I did was I talk about how many hours that I'm investing in it as opposed to what I used to, so that at the moment now I'm working between 8 and 13 hours a day on the platform. So that's between Discord, networking, and researching and writing articles. The articles that I'm writing are taking anything from what used to be like 30 minutes now can be anything up to 6-7 hours for an article. And I also did a bit of math in the article as well, in which I talked about how everything at the moment I'm kind of powering up to steam power, and how it actually calculates into your ordinary US dollar. But the biggest thing that it was a realization that I had whilst writing the post as well, was to do with the trending page, because a little while ago, I would say that I wasn't, and probably still not, the biggest fan of trending pages. But now it might be fairer to say that I've got a better understanding why they're there and how they can be used. Because I noticed that on the trending pages that a lot of the bigger posts, when we look at the upvote, that the reason why they're so big and trending is because I always thought it was, for instance, because of a whale vote, and it wasn't. It was because of bot votes. And what I learned from that was, well, why would they use a bot vote? Because wouldn't that not mean that they're going to lose out on money? And I had a really interesting chat with another Steemian who's actually on the trending page, Johnny Clearwater. And I was really happy to see that. And he's promoting something called Hots and Shots. And what he said is that the reason he's done it is because it's not for the warrant of the post making money. It's an investment for posts in the future, because he wants to promote the series so that he's got more of a followership. So that's kind of like the whole kind of everything to do with what the post's about. But I've learned a lot, especially to do with powering up, and also how trending pages can be used, and that maybe we shouldn't judge everybody the same way who uses a trending page.
Well, thank you so much for that. I think it's really interesting to those of us who do not spend all of our time and effort towards Steemit related things, to kind of get insight into what it's been like for you as someone who is on here the whole time. So it's definitely great. I do like the considerations about the trending page. I think it's really interesting, Johnny's take on it. Johnny also has a deal with Booster through that series that he's promoting their services, and they give him a certain amount of liquid steam to spend on promotions, and so that has helped him. But it is good to know that he is kind of, when you talk about the people who are voting or selling the votes, and you talk about the people who, like you, who are spending all of their time creating and curating, it's nice to know that at least Johnny is one of us. He's one of the people who is doing this and is really trying to get his initiative out there to build a following for the future. So yeah, there are always multiple aspects of everything to consider, and he has been a really interesting guy to get to know. And if you haven't watched his series, it can be very entertaining. So I would encourage you to check it out.
Hey, crazy with no accent, I hope. How are you managing to talking in 30 Discord groups? I got like 10 and I'm like dying. I can't keep up. It's not even funny.
It's, to be honest, that's probably one of the most common questions I've been asked from the post, which was the how do I manage to talk around so many? And no, Shadow, definitely over 30, but Shadow's probably is a member of a lot more. And what I do is there's certain rooms in each server that I go into and I feed into, and there's a lot of, because with networking, and I think it's a post that I want to do about networking in the future, that what I'm discovering with networking is not only do you meet people, but you get like a network of people that you're feeding into all the time. And it's really good that you've got a larger amount of servers to do that with, because you're meeting so many different interesting people. And I add to it, I mean, it's now probably 31. I think I just added another one today and I haven't had a chance to have a look at it yet. But what I say to all the groups is every time that I come back, and if I've been away for an hour or something, I'll say, I'm really sorry. I've just went full circle and I've come back and I'm back to you now. Sometimes they're offline by then, but sometimes they're not. But they understand that, if they need me urgently, they can always tag me. But they understand that I'm all over the place. I think Battle Axe is the same. If anybody knows Battle Axe, she's like a member of over 50, and she does exactly the same as me.
I think it's great that you've gotten so much engagement on this post as far as really good comments. I was just looking through that, and I think that's a product of you being able to spend time in so many groups, and we certainly appreciate your presence in ours.
I think, I mean, the Steam Engine was probably one of the first Discord servers that I would have been in, and I kind of call this my hub. So this is my central point. So everything kind of expands out from the Steam Engine. So this, I would say, is probably the main one where I'm going to post, and then anything else afterwards. But it always kind of centers around here. So yeah, I think it's a great server and a great bunch of people.
Well, I like, sorry, Ethan, I liked one paragraph toward the end, so I'm just going to read it. But in all fairness, the majority of us need to understand this is a long-term investment. Realistically, we're getting money for nothing. The majority of us need to be more grateful that we have a blockchain available to us. Yes, there are a lot of politics, but we should not waste time getting involved in them, but work to help each other grow. I really like that.
Yeah, I didn't know how people would actually perceive that, when I wrote it. But I do, honestly, and I think I'm a perfect example for that, because when I joined the Steemit platform, I joined with nothing. I mean, I haven't bought any Steam, I haven't invested anything, I've had very little to do to be able to do that. So for me, it's an absolutely ideal opportunity. I mean, another thing that I wanted to kind of put on board with that as well is, I mean, I'm a 38-year-old guy and I've got no pension. So when I come to retire, I might get a state pension, but everybody's telling me there are no guarantees you're going to get a state pension. So I need to really think now, when I retire, if I want to retire at 65, which is only, another 30 something years, it's not long. I need to really think about that. And this is where Steemit could be a perfect opportunity for me.
Of course, I see that possibility in Steemit as well. I mean, it all depends how much time you invest, and as I can see, you're investing a lot of time writing great posts like this one you just shared. So just keep doing that, and hopefully, crypto will even get higher in the future, and you won't have to worry about your retirement.
That seems to be what Calamam thinks here.
Yeah, just hold. You'll never need to worry about a pension. Yeah. Absolutely. I might starve in the process, but it's okay. I don't mind that. It's worth it for me to get that mansion in 30 years' time.
Well, we certainly hope you don't starve, but we wish you the best at the same time. So,
thank you, guys.
Okay, so Awaken to Life. Who's up next?
Well, the next Next speaker is my favorite alcoholic, Petra.
I don't even know what to say to this. Come on.
Just don't say that.
Silence is gold.
Okay, Petra, we would love to hear from you what you have for us this week. So
Just before she starts, if anybody else wants to represent, he's got to drop that emoji because we got only one person after this trip. Go on, Petra.
Yeah, there you go. I just needed to post link and the photo separately because the photo doesn't load, but there you go. I cheated a little and posted the photo. Okay, first of all, hi everyone, and sorry if I'm being a little nasal today. My cold is at its peak. It started yesterday, and I hope that tomorrow I'll be up and running and well again. But if I have, I'm sorry, if I have a little problem, just ask and I'll repeat if you didn't understand what I was saying. This post is about dreams and their interpretations, and how some people decipher their dreams the wrong way, actually, by using dream dictionaries and various books or online. Um, I'm not saying that those people that wrote that material did not do a good job. I'm just saying that their subconscious is not your subconscious. You are the only you, actually, and only you can understand the symbols that are that your subconscious or inner self, higher self, God, universe, whatever you wish to call it, is sending you. Those are your symbols. I wrote some steps that you can follow in your little journey in deciphering your dreams, and I hope you guys read this and that it helps you. It does help. The more you write things down, it will be better. You will get better in it. And your input and comments are always very much appreciated. So if you have any questions, I'll gladly answer them. Now I'm gonna go blow my nose and cough a little.
I think you actually presented this post at I think it was, which channel was that?
The whale shares. The whale shares.
Yeah, it actually got a pretty good attention there. I'm always interested in in dreams, and like now I meditate a lot, and the more I meditate, the more I actually remember some of my dreams. It's actually pretty exciting actually. I don't know what they all mean, but it's before I couldn't remember a lot what I'm dreaming about.
Yeah, there is a trick to that. The more you write them down and the more you think about them on a daily basis.
What was the last thing you dreamed about?
Oh, you don't want to hear about that.
Oh yes, we do.
Is there a not safe for work tag here or something?
Yeah, we want to try to keep it mostly
So-
family friendly. So
Oh no.
Hey, the one before that. Come on, something that it's not R.A. or whatever the name is when something is not appropriate.
No, I'm just kidding. You know, it's fine. It's okay. Well, lately, I've been dreaming a lot about animals, specifically my spirit animals and my spirit guides that are coming and talking to me, and it would be so nice of them to come and heal this cold that I'm having. That would be so nice.
What are some of your spirit animals? What are the most that come visit you?
I have a wolf, a female wolf, and deer with great big antlers. They're friends most of the time. They have a kind of annoying friendship like you and me have where they bother each other but love each other.
Yeah, I like those two animals. I think we would get along then.
does anybody else have any fun dreams that they'd like to share? That's always an interesting conversation.
I dreamt that we accidentally destroyed Mars
a few days ago. But in a way, it was a funny dream because thing was that we didn't bombard it or something like that, but that science didn't realize for a long time that Mars is actually not a planet. It was some kind of space body that wasn't as solid as the as planets. And when we sent the craft that landed on Mars, the Mars deflated like a balloon and disappeared.
I think we've
So
got
it was
the-
like a balloon, huh?
Yeah, and the thing that I was worried the most in the dream is for some reason we had our months were associated with planets, and we lost 1 month in the year because Mars disappeared. So years had only 11 months.
this does.
That was a very detailed. That was a very detailed dream.
I think that's great. I mean, I think that first of all, I mean, it might be the start of some sort of science fiction novel. So we deflated Mars or something like that. I mean, you could do something in the future where Mars, this like starts a war or something. I'm just thinking about some other science fiction novels I've read where Mars is a sovereign state rather than just a planet. But that's really funny that just deflated and we lost a month.
I'm actually picturing it now in my head. The plane lands and it just deflates the Mars.
So now we just need Petra to walk us through what that means and how we can interpret it.
Yeah, go ahead, Petra.
Destroying Mars?
Waiting Mars.
Well,
I think it was your deer and wolf friend who did it.
yeah, well, I'm sorry, who dreamt of destroying Mars?
I dreamt about it,
alright?
and it was not destroying it. We accidentally did it by sending a plane on it, and it wasn't a real planet. It was some kind of hollow body. And when we landed the planet on the plane on it, it just deflated like a balloon.
Okay, that sounds really interesting, actually. But let me ask you a question. How did you feel about that in the dream, and how did you feel while remembering it? Because when we dream, however crazy our dreams may be, those are symbols from our subconscious, and this inflating and sending stuff to some place that is really not what it seems like. You need to think about what kind of things do you have in life that may correspond to this?
Well, when I was awake, I had no special feelings about it, and while I was dreaming, it was funny in a way because I was laughing at how scientists were able to send the plane to the Mars, but they failed to recognize that it wasn't a planet for thousands of years.
Okay, that sounds interesting as well. You should
Well,
think about it.
well, it's not the first time our science was wrong. They change their opinions every month and a half, or something like this.
Well, thank you so much, Petra, for sharing with us about dreams, and I hope everyone will take the time to check out that post. So, Awaken to Life, who's up next?
Actually, our next contestant is our Mars balloon explosion trip spider Arados.
Okay, so some of you have already seen this post as I have shared it in Shadows. In Shadows Pimp Your post last Thursday, but I would like to share it here again because this is the start of my new series, which is about Norse mythology. Here you go. This is a pretty detailed post about the creation of the world in Norse mythology. It's based on the stories from two books. The books are called Prose and Poetic Edda. Those are the two main sources to Norse mythology. The both books date to 13th century. The Prose Edda was written or compiled, we are not certain, by a guy called Snorri Sturluson, who was a scholar and how do you call it? Historian, yeah, scholar and historian in Iceland in 13th century. And the Poetic Edda is actually considered the older Edda because it is collection of the collection of the poems which were far older than the Eddas. It was found. It was the oldest source of the poetic Edda is Codex Regius, also from Iceland, and so the most of this post comes from those two books. There are some differences in the Eddas about the parts of mythology, and when that happens, I write what is different in which Edda, and I write both stories there. So here I covered everything since the beginning of creation, where there was nothing but three primordial realms. Over the ice giant Ymir, who was the first being that was alive, to creation of the material world as we know it, and as all the Vikings knew it. Their world was based on the cosmic tree Yggdrasil, and was consisted of 9 realms. And after the creation of the world, I cover creation of humans, and in the end, the creation of Asgard, the realm of Aesir gods, the rest of the Aesir gods, and the finalization of the creation through Bifrost, which is the bridge that connects this world with the heavens, and we see it as a rainbow. I will tell you in short how the world, as we know it, was created, because the whole story is pretty long. So in the beginning, there was only a big gaping abyss of Ginnungagap, and north of it was north and south of it were 2 other realms. The south of it was Muspelheim, which is a realm of primordial fire and heat, and north of it was Nilfheim, which was the realm of primordial of ice and cold. And as 2 realms moved closer together, the north part of Ginnungagap was filled with icy rivers of Nilfheim, and in the southern part of the Ginnungagap, the sparks that flew out of Muspelheim ignited it. And in the beginning, in the middle, the ice started to melt and revealed the first ice giant Ymir. Later, the more ice melted, and the cow Audmula appeared, which had 4 streams of milk coming from her, which fed the ice giant. And the third person that appeared was the first of the gods, who was grandfather to Odin, who most of you know of. And Odin and his 2 brothers, Vili and Ve, killed the frost giant Ymir, and from his body they created the earth, and that is how the creation began.
Wow, I just got one question. Were you just like talking from top of your head right now, because you have so much knowledge about it? Because I've been reading your text now also, and some of the information you just said, it's not even in the text.
Yeah, I have been talking from my head. I was always a fan of mythology since my high school, and I have read a lot about it. Now I'm writing about. I started blogging here with Haitian voodoo. Now I moved to the Norse mythology, as there is not many sources of Haitian voodoo, and it has been hard to keep the posts coming. And my goal is, when I gather up more followers, I will start writing about my favorite mythology, which is the Slavic mythology.
Well, that's a pretty detailed post as I'm looking at it right now. Does anybody else got a questions for him?
It's not really a question, but more of a comment. I think I was there when you presented this in PYPT last week, and I was probably too busy to look at it then, but I'm glad that I've opened up now, because it seems very interesting. So I appreciate you taking the time to compile that information and summarize it, because it's a great post.
There will be more coming. This is just the opening of the Norse mythology series.
Excellent. Well, we will be looking forward to it.
I have a question.
Hello,
Erdos,
Captain.
when are we going to have the Robin Hood pirate story? That's what I've been waiting for.
Soon. Tomorrow, I think I'll have another post about pirates tomorrow. And no, it is not the Robin Hood of the pirates. It is the king of the pirates, or the arch pirate.
Well, she's about everything connected to pirates, as you can see. I don't know why she doesn't have Captain Dream's team as her nickname here
I know
now.
exactly why. It's because you told everybody
only in
this channel.
PYPT.
It's because you told everybody in the channel to put their actual username as their as their nickname, so that you can keep track
There
of
you
them and
go.
post
There you
promotion.
go.
Yeah, well, you can put it in parentheses in the on the side. Some people did that,
Yeah.
because
I'm just
they
giving you a hard
thought out
time.
of the box. They're trying to find loopholes in my rules. I got to straighten them out, man.
I have no problem with people doing that. I think it's great that people have nicknames across the other groups, but maybe someday Captain Dream's team will make its way over to this server.
I think it's just exclusive for Shadow Pub. She doesn't let her.
Oh, is that right? Does she have an exclusive contract with Shadow's Pub?
Yeah, that's what she has over there.
Trying to get Shadows to weigh in on
My
that.
loyalties belong to my Admiral Pirate Shadows.
There you go.
I just keep things between myself and the captain.
Exactly.
Well, thank you again, Trip to Spider Airdos, for sharing that with us. And so, Awaken to Life, by my count, it looks like Shadow's Pub is up next.
Yes, she is.
The floor's all yours.
Okay. I put this up yesterday. It's actually been sitting in my to-do box for a couple of weeks. And there was some posts that came around a couple of weeks ago that had named me as being supportive of certain groups that I really haven't been connected with. So I thought, rather than get into an argument, it would be just a whole lot easier to write a post that says what I do and what I do support. It's not exclusive, but they're the main ones that I support. And of course, needless to say, the Steam engine's in there. I have no idea why.
I think.
Well, thank you for that.
I think I'm pretty sure why, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure why too, but it sounded good, eh?
Of course.
Why would I?
Yeah, I enjoyed looking through this again. I'm pretty familiar with most of these just because of being around, interacting with you on PYPT, things like that. But it was nice to see the tag pop up since I've got mentions on Genobot. So I saw the tag and I went over there and I was like, hey, this is great to see our community as one of the ones on the official list that Shadows Pub promotes. So I don't have to feel bad when I say that Shadows Pub is an active member and promotes our community.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't feel bad.
Oh, I never.
It would mean I was being bad.
No, I would not at all. Shadows Pub has been around with this team kind of since the beginning, ever since she started the Steemit Ramble. I remember when it first got started, and so it's been really neat to see how both communities have grown and helped support each other along the way.
Which I think is an important part for every community to do, is to work together with others.
Of course, the more connected we are, the better it is for Steemit in general, and for us actually,
It has been really great as people have joined here and have looked for ways to help promote their content, to really send them over to the Ramble so they can get involved with all of the channels that you have set up, as well as PYPT, which has kind of been the inspiration for this segment. But we appreciate you hosting all of those people that we've sent your way, and it's great to go over there on Thursdays and see so many of our members there sharing across with that community, because there really is so many people from so many different places that hop on PYPT, so it's good for the exposure and it's good for the group, and it's been great. So.
Well, I think
I really enjoy how that's become a bit of a crossroads between different groups, and people get an opportunity to meet each other and find out about the other groups.
I think Shadow was a direct actually inspiration for us, Ethan, to start something like this. Especially, I think I was talking about for a long time of joining her. I don't know, a month and a half ago, about joining her PTYT. And did I say that right? I think I did. And the first time I went, I loved it. I mean, the people were getting to know each other, having fun, promoting posts. It was amazing. I think that was my inspiration to encourage to start something like that here.
Well, I think most of the people who are here in this session have also been over there in PYPT, because I believe Hope Hugs made an appearance there last week.
She did. I don't think we've got her to present yet, but we'll get there.
Little steps along the way.
Yeah.
Well, at PYPT, it's a bigger crowd, and she's still working on presenting her post by voice.
Well, there's Boffy. He's just dropped in, so he's another one that's kind of one of those that's done both, so that's good. But anyway, thank you so much, Shadows, for sharing that. I hope that all of you will take the time to go read the post and really check out some of the other initiatives that Shadows Pub has supported, because all of them are really great things that if you would like to support, I'm sure it would be excellent as well. I support a lot of those communities as well myself, so thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to sit back and listen for a change.
Yeah, sorry. I think if Shadow is promoting, I think everybody should check it out, because I'm sure those groups are the real deal. Except the Steam Engine. Steam Engine sucks.
Okay, you're fired.
He's done.
Donald Trump right there.
Kick ban. You're done. You got to go find another group. I guess you'll have
Blacklist.
Yeah, blacklist. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Just because of that, we're going to send a message out to the passengers.
Yeah, do that, please.
I think we should tag everyone and tag all of the roles, and so then everyone can know that Awaken to Life has been sent away packing. We sent him packing.
I'm sure a lot of people would feel relief, not me being over them in a baggage car and on promoting posts.
Well, you know what? I think that we're a better community because of Awaken to Life's work, and he gets a pass every once in a while, even if he does say that our group is awful. So it's okay. We'll let it slide this time. Just don't let it happen again.
Oh, come on, people.
Trick is we have to actually believe them, and we don't.
Right.
Hi guys, how are you today?
Do I have to say it sucks 3-4 times in a row for you to believe me?
Yeah, then we'll talk. I'm gonna have to take you aside and we'll have to have a conversation. But anyway, we'll figure this out later. Okay, so for all of you that don't know, we're completely kidding. Awaken to Life is one of the founding members of this group, so it's great to have him along. Anyway, Boffy, hello, we heard you. Thanks for joining in. Let's move down the list. So who's up next?
Up next is my fellow Croatian, Vex Science.
Okay.
Hey, just a second.
No worries, take your time.
Once again, we'll take time to pause here for just a moment. At the top of the hour, it is now 9 p.m. UTC, 5 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States, and it is 11 p.m. in Italy. And the reason I say that is because Awaken to Life is there. And he's my co-host here on Talk of the Line, the weekly voice curation segment sponsored by the Steemit group, The Steam Engine. We're here on the Steam Engine Discord this afternoon, afternoon for me, to help our members out by giving them a chance to talk about what they've been up to lately. And up next we have Wax Science, who's about to present, so take it away.
Hello. So this post is about my first logo, second logo here, sorry, for Discord group. I saw a post by Kaluman from Body Up Discord group, And I saw his post. He made a contest for a new logo. But unfortunately, I didn't have time for that, and I thought I was going to check only after 1 week to see the logos and see the community, But after 1 week, I asked Kaluman, is there any new logos and participants? And he said there are none. So I just I don't know. It was my call. I don't know. I wanted to help, and my sister arrived from another city. No, she loves to create some things. Like me. So we thought we were gonna help the community and make a logo. What we wanted to do is to unite all the ranks, in Steemit, planktons, minnows, dolphins, orcas, and whales, as you can see it. And this is post is about how we made it, from the first picture and the first sketch of the logo to the final version. And I don't know what to say else about it. Anyway, we wanted to help and to give back to the community, and that's what we do.
It's absolutely
Thanks.
fantastic.
Wax science. Didn't you want to mention something about the amazing glow?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, so this glow is only for Dreams team because she loves the glow, and that's her best part. I know she liked it very much. The glow.
Beautiful. You did an amazing job. It is so representative of everything that we love about Buddy Up, and it's gorgeous. So professional.
Yeah,
I'll just jump in there as well. Like you did a fantastic job. Like I had to hold my hands up and say, like, you first sent it to me, and I was saying like, it's not like the briefing, it's this and this, and then after a little while and looking at it, and you got to step back and say it's an absolutely fantastic logo. It's everything that we're about, and I'm glad that you just got to go wild with it and do your thing and kind of put into your words what Buddy Up's about, because it's a knockout. It's amazing, mate. Really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kalaman said to go wild, and for me, that triggered me, so we went wild.
I'm so glad, man. I'm so glad.
I think that I'm really glad too. That's just really great. I mean, I've seen so many different logo and design contests on Steemit, and I'm not only impressed with what the final product, but I'm also really impressed with the post you did and showed the complete process, so no one can deny that it's your work. I think that's really impressive, and I would say that, I mean, considering the logo that I made for the Steam engine seems kind of silly now, but it's one of those things that if there are people out there across the platform that can do such great things and make things happen like this, and we're really glad to have you here. Maybe we'll commission you to do one for us someday when you're feeling super creative. So.
Oh, I'll be glad. I love to create, things. I need to bring out my thoughts from, to speak my mind. That's what I want.
Well,
I want to speak my mind, to create something. And this was also a thing to make my sister come to Steemit. She also loves to create, and she was so overwhelmed about comments and people reacting to it. So maybe this is the first step.
I think it is, buddy. And just to say, like, any endeavors, any creative work you've got my support 100%. Like, I'm sure you've got everybody in here too. So go for it. Express yourself honestly and do what you love.
Definitely. We would encourage you to do that as well, and we're super glad that you're here with us in this community to share these types of things.
Thanks, guys. You're really motivating everyone. So I need to give back. I just need to give back.
I really love how you connected all the whales and stuff from the beginning. It's just kind of it sends a message that we need to break the barrier between the whales and the minnows, so everybody just starts helping each other like we're trying to do with the PY, PT, and the other groups. That's what Steemit should be all about. The more together we are, the better the value of Steemit will be in general. The more we work together, the more we help each other. It's just going to be much better for all of us.
Exactly. That was the thought behind it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. It looks like Buffy, you're up next. Since you just dropped in, we'd love to hear from you, and he's got a good one for us.
Actually, I think Hope is next first.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I must have missed that. That's why I leave this to you. Terribly sorry about that. Hope Hugs, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Good. Here's my post I'm going to talk about today. It's called Bumblebee Flies Another Day. That's part 2, but part 1's linked in it as well. It's basically a story about a bee. And I based on the Good Samaritan story, just showing that people can be kind to people that perhaps hurt them. In this case, it was a girl who got stung with a bee, and she ended up helping the bee. And it's just a kind of nice little feel-good story.
What was your motivation for writing this story?
The main one was to talk about bees, because there are ways that we can kind of help them and things, and by having the flowers in the garden. But if you did find one that's still alive, by putting it somewhere in the sun, so it could, especially if it rains and things, but by letting it dry out and things, you'll be actually helping it. And also there's the honey, the sugar and water solution that you can give a bee that would help them on their way as well. So I was basically kind of try to have all of that into one, make it a kindness story and how you can help bees as well.
Oh, definitely. My parents actually have a couple of hives of honeybees, and so I've actually done that before, where I found one that was struggling and just went and got it some sugar water, and it flew away. So it does work. It's great, and bees are excellent, and we need them. We need them terribly. So any chance I get to support the bees is excellent. I wanted to ask you, so where did those illustrations come from? Because it seems like they fit your story pretty well.
They come from Pixabay. I've just kind of found a background picture and then found a transparent pictures of bees and just put them together.
Okay, so you made the images with other resources. That's great.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I've been a common culprit of doing the same thing sometimes, but I think it's great that you made them all fit the story, and you didn't really even have to draw anything out like Wax Science did, where he drew it from scratch. But that's really neat. I'm glad that we have some illustrations to go along with the story.
Oh, thank you.
Actually didn't pay attention that you actually made these by yourself. I thought you just found them somewhere on the internet, but it's pretty cool. It makes post even better and more personal. You know, it's awesome.
I was going to be pretty impressed if you just wrote a story and then searched Pixabay and found the exact images, like a snail and the bee and the lady, like all that. I was going to be like, that's some really good coincidence. Like,
No, I did find the flower colours aren't right.
Oh,
It should
okay.
be. But apart from that, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Hope Hugs, for sharing that with us. Anybody else have thoughts on the bees? If not, we'll move right along. So, Awaken to Life. Let me consult you on who's next before I jump over anybody this time. And
It's okay. Now, next time is the person you try to get before Hope.
okay,
But I stopped you.
sorry.
So
'Cause
it's Buffy next. I'll let you present him.
Okay, well, so I'm keeping a list as well for the recap later, and I just must have missed her when I wrote it down. So, anyhow, Buffy, you're up, and again, he's got a good one for us. I've already seen the post that he's planning to share, and it's great. I really enjoyed this series, so I hope you will too. So, Buffy, why don't you take it away?
Hi everyone. I hope you are good. I've been missing Steemit for a while because I was very busy with exams and real life stuff. But I guess everybody has to do real life stuff too. So this is the second part of the Lego Around the World tour, and this is really important to me because it's the main project on Steemit. And for anyone that didn't look the first post that I put back, I think a couple of weeks ago, this is a series that relies on the Lego architecture to show different cities and countries around the world. And the purpose of this is to make people discover again the beauty of playing the games, because I really feel that we need to somehow enjoy ourselves in a positive way, in a different way that we we can't really do much right now. Like I see my friends or people of my age that are wasting trying to find entertainment in poker or I don't know. I mean, risking money on something to find entertainment, and I guess that we can rediscover a really positive way of playing instead of gambling and stuff like that. So this post is about Paris, which is a city that I really liked back in December 2016. And the post is about the Eiffel Tower that I built with the Lego Architecture series. So I hope that you will enjoy it. And if you can support me by upvoting or following or whatever you can, it will really help me a lot because as you probably know, Lego are really expensive. So everything I get from Steemit, I usually reinvest in stuff. Like with Steemit, I already bought a new camera lens for shooting better time lapses. So yeah, I will upload a time lapse of the building in the next days. And yeah, I want also to say that in a month, I think I managed to reach the 500 Steam power, and that I suggest everyone to really invest in Steemit because I see the potential of the platform, and those days I think that the value of Steemit and Steam Dollar really rised up, and it's really a good signal because it's differentiate. It's like separating from the value of Bitcoin, which is kinda slowing down. So yeah, invest in Steemit. I think that it's a good thing, and I hope that you will enjoy my post.
So I just have to brag on Bobby. He's been one of these really impressive success stories on the platform no longer than he's been here, and I've really enjoyed the Legos. I personally really like Lego, so big fan here. But that's not the reason. He does really good work in the English community, and he's part of the Italian community as well on Steemit, and so it's really great to see him successful and his commitment to the platform. And so I will just echo what he said. I think it's great to see kind of a bump in the Steam price today. It's kind of encouraging compared to where the market's been going lately. And we're just really glad, Bobby, that you found our group and that you're a part of it, and that you're going to continue to share Lego posts, because I'm really excited to see. I see the architecture sets in the store all the time, but I have never picked one of them up, so it's nice to be able to vicariously build them through your efforts.
Yeah, thank you, Ethan. So I have to admit that the fact that I'm in this group, it's really great for me because I learned so much, and every time I see a good post, most of the time it's from one of the community member here. Lately, I couldn't be in a lot here because, as Ethan said, I was deeply involved with the Italian community because there was some problem involved with flagging wars and stuff. Like I had to teach members to not get involved in flag wars and basic stuff like that. So I was more involved with the Italian community. The thing that I like a lot about Lego is the possibility that you can really take half an hour, 1 hour for yourself and set up some music and yeah, just build your Lego. I feel it's really cool, and I don't know if I think that I don't know if Ruben is up. I don't see it's not here. Yeah. Aside from Lego, I had I don't know if you had a really good Easter, but I had one, and I enjoyed a lot taking macro photography. So I discovered another passion, and I hope to show you some cool shots soon. But yeah, I mean, I just wrote that a Panama Mama told that the feeling of stepping on Legos, it's really painful. Yeah. But I think that if your children play with Legos, they will. It helped me a lot with imagination and I think it's called the relative thinking, side thinking, something like that. So it's really helpful.
Yes, well, we appreciate you sharing. There's a couple things that I wanted to comment on. One is that it's really great to see you as a new-ish user, someone who's not been on Steemit very long. Already, by being involved in this community, you have been able to help other people in other communities, and I think that is really a testament to the kind of group that we have here. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us. It's always really good to hear. Second is I absolutely agree that building a Lego set can be very therapeutic because it's just great. Like I am in the middle of graduate school, and one time a couple years ago when I just started, it was super stressful. I went to the store and bought a Lego set and put it together, and I think it helped me. So, but it is really great experience to sit down for a couple hours, depending on how large the set is, and kind of spend some time with yourself and walk through the instructions. So I agree. For those of you who have never done it, go. Legos are expensive, but it's worth. Just go buy a small set and just put it together, and you will feel better. I promise.
Yeah, to stress this fact, I can say that one of my favorite artists, which is Ed Sheeran, is really, really into Lego. And he said that a lot of the time before having a blast set in Wembley Arena or Manchester or anything in another stadium, he always he often plays with Lego. So yeah, I think it's really relieving. And if you don't want to spend too much on Lego, you can always message me if you want to have any suggestion for a gift or something, because I'm really, really into them. So I can maybe suggest a particular set or anything like that. It's not a problem. And I'm really looking forward to show you guys I'm putting a lot of work for a time lapse of this Lego too. And the first one, I was really surprised because it got featured on DTube. And I read that DTube is having some troubles lately, but I hope to get to upload the second one there too. So yeah, as always, I am really looking forward for your comments. So please comment on the post, because I will always get back to you. And if you have any suggestion, or if you have any places that you want to see, this is really important. If you have any places that you want to see for the next post, please let me know, now, if you have any particular building or something.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Duro.
No, I was just gonna say I know Buffy from probably the first day that he came to Steam Engine, and I remember him even asking me for help a couple of times, and I helped him, and he was just listening everything, doing the stuff I was telling him, and he was just the just like you know him now, a positive person, very easy to talk to, and I just like that he succeeded so fast. I mean, that 500 Steam is not an easy task on Steemit. I mean, I think you're going very fast with progress. So keep it up, man. You deserve it. Your posts are getting better and better. So we really appreciate you being part of our group.
Thanks so much, Duro. I really appreciate your kind words.
I know that I was in a bookstore a couple weeks ago, or last week actually, and I saw they have a lot of good Legos. That architecture series has several American buildings that I think would be pretty cool, like the New York skyline and the U.S. Capitol building and things like that. So it's great to kind of tour around the world, and I think if you just kind of follow that series, I know some of them get pretty expensive, but I would say any of them in that series would be great to see you post about.
You know what else is great, Buffy? You actually speak pretty good English. I mean, in Italia here, it's hard to find people speak English. I don't know why. Maybe because everything on TV is synchronized in Italian. You can't find a English channel. I think it's so nice to hear somebody speaking good English, because it's not a easy task to find Italians speaking good English.
Yeah, you're right. So if I have to be frank, I don't really like my pronunciation or the way that my thoughts are developed in English, because I don't think they are fluent enough. I really stress myself to learn to speak in English and to write in English, to talk in English. So yeah, that's really something that I I did put a lot of effort in my school career and also speaking with friends and such stuff like that. But your Duro is right. Unfortunately, I have to admit that in Italy, people don't really speak English well, and I don't think that they really care at all about speaking English, which is probably the worst part of it. So.
No, it's not worse for me. It's for me it's funny when they speak English in Italian accent a little bit. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's like me trying to speak Italian. You know, it's it's the same way.
So I just want to say I think all of you, it's just really impressive to me as an American and someone who only speaks English to say I just applaud you for your effort to speak English. It's one of those things that you'll hear all things in the media about how we feel like everybody should speak English, but I really, as someone who's grown up speaking it, I think it's really impressive that you've taken the time to learn the language. So I think it's great.
Yeah, thank you. And to add to that, I just give me a second because I have to surprise you, Ethan.
What? I don't know.
Yeah, so I just uploaded the photo. This is me,
wow.
and this is a Lego that I had already bought. So it's the New York City skyline that you talk about, but it's missing a piece, unfortunately. But the Lego customer care is really, really good, and I emailed them, and they said that they will email me the missing pieces from Denmark. So I hope to get them soon and do another part of the series. So
that is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And now I'm even more excited. I just happened to see that in a bookstore last week, and I was like, hey, that would be pretty fun. So that's
yeah, I am I am really not in this moment on Steemit. I'm not really looking for profit or anything else. But if I can find a way to getting the value of my post to rebuy some other Legos and keeping going like that, it will be really awesome for me. So that's why I asked for everyone else, because I think that this is the way to do in this platform. I mean.
Well, I agree, and I think as long as you continue the quality of the posts that you've done so far, I don't think you'll have any problems getting rewards for those, and I'm sure this community will be happy to reward those. So anyhow, thank you so much, Bafi.
Just to add for all the for a Panama mom and all the moms out there, if you start buying Lego for your children, they will buy them too, so they won't have any money left for weed and dangerous stuff. Trust me, because they are.
That's a good advice.
I am not joking. I'm not joking because like some Lego pieces which kids really love, like Millennium Falcon or stuff like that, cost like 300 euros. So they are expensive, but they also retain a really, really good value. So they are like a form of investment for the future as well.
They really are. I've got several sets in the closet unopened, honestly, for being honest here. Just from that I've picked up over the years that I plan to either A, sell someday, or B, if I have children, I'll give them to them. So
yeah, having close set, it's really good, and because the printing set of each set is really low. So I had this passion from my dad, which is a civil engineer, and he really liked Legos back in the time. And now we have a father-son passion that I think it's really great to have. So
that is great. Okay, so
and
again,
thanks. Yeah, I want just to say hello to everyone. Thanks for stopping by. See you.
Thank you, Bafi. We really appreciate it. So we're coming up on 5 minutes to go before the live stream is over, and so I think we have one more thing that Crazy wants to talk about. That's Enchanted Spirits post, and since she can't be in here listening, she's not even hearing me say this right now, but she's in the text chat. Let's do the like 2-minute rundown there, Crazy, real quick if you can.
All right, guys. I'm just going to put up Enchanted's post.
I'll turn it on so you can hear.
And the reason I wanted to promote Enchanted is because Enchanted is one of the people who is, she's a little star and she'll put everybody else above herself. She doesn't post every day. She posts like once a week, maybe twice. She also supports my Shout Out Saturday initiative. But she promotes some absolutely wonderful content. She's an astrologer. She's she's into aligning planet alignments and across the whole astrology board. She's got some fascinating content. She shares some amazing pictures, and she's just forgotten. Well, she's not forgotten. We all love her. We know that she works a lot around in the background. She does a lot of curation for the Steam engine. She does her own private curation as well. She's an absolute joy to know. And also, she's not afraid of pulling you in and giving you a sworn telling off if you're out of line. So she's got a vicious bite, but we all love her. So be sure to check out her content because it's wonderful and amazing. And she really, really deserves a lot of credit.
Well, thank you.
She does. She really does. She does such an amazing job behind. Like she, it's just I don't have any words. She's just amazing.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you so much for taking the time to share about her. And for those of you who don't know, Enchanted Spirit is the lead curator for the Steam engine. She does all of the work for the daily Whistle Stops post and takes time to read all of the posts in the Baggage Horror post promotion and select the best of to give the higher rewards. And we're definitely happy to have her. She also runs her own private curation segment over at her account called The Inbox, and it's called The Inbox Runneth Over because sometimes she just has too many posts that she wants to give good rewards. And so with that, we'll wind down towards our last 3 minutes, and just for the purposes of the live stream, I want to thank everyone who appeared here today. We had a new record for our audience. About 20 people, I think, showed up today, so that's really great. Thanks again to Awaken to Life for being the co-host and the keeper of the list, even when I don't know what's going on. Thank you for Shadows Pub for being here as always and supporting it and being the inspiration for this type of a segment. And for all of you who presented today, we really appreciate it. There will be a recap post. It won't be going up quite as quickly as it did last week, but I'll try to have that up over the next few days so that we can revisit all of the excellent posts that have been shared today. So we're coming up on the end once again. This is Ethan Smith coming to you with Talk of the Line, week number 2 from the Steam engine, and this is being broadcast live on steamstar.net. Thank you to Sir Cork and the SteamStar Radio Network for allowing us to have this time slot each week. So thank you for those of you who attended, and I believe that's going to be the end of the recording, so I'll switch that off, and then we can get back to chatting about whatever. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for those of you who've listened today. Awaken to Life, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Well, I think it was a great second session. There were some great posts shared. We talked a lot, as we usually do, and I think we had some fun. I'm looking forward for the next time, and thank you all who participated and whoever is listening to this live stream.
All right, thank you so much, and that'll be it. So this is Ethan Smith, Awaken to Life, signing off from the Steam Engine. This has been Talk of the Line, live on the SteamStar Radio Network.